Good morning, everyone. My name is WIKTOR MARKIEWICZ. I represent IDC Corporation. IDC stands for the International Data Corporation. It's a company that our responsibility is to make market research. We talk to vendors, we talk to buyers, and we're trying to understand what's going on the market, what's the market trends, opportunities. And as we'll be talking about the Internet of Things today, I would like to share with you our findings and give you some insights about IoT market. Show me the money. It's a provocative title because we believe that we are at the very beginning of the IoT journey, and it's gonna take some time before we will see huge opportunities on this market. We estimate that Internet of Things market, as we're talking about this year, 2016, for CE, Central and Eastern Europe, is $11 billion market. I'd just like to give you kind of to compare what is $11 billion market. It's big, it's small. I tell you that total IT market for Baltic states, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, 3 countries combined, it's approximately $1 billion market. So when we are talking about the CE Internet of Things, it's like 10 Baltic states total IT markets combined. It's for this year. However, the IoT market is growing. We have more people coming. Good morning. And in 10 years from now, 2020, it's going to be $24 million market. As you can see on the right-hand chart, Russia and Poland in the CE region represent almost 60% of the total opportunity. From 11 billion this year to $24 billion in the next 4 years, let's take a look at the total IT market in the region. The total IT market in Central and Eastern Europe will be growing by 4%. Will be growing by 4% year over year. Compound annual growth rate for the Internet of Things market is going to be 21.3%, double-digit growth rate from 11 up to 24. And I would like just to draw your attention on the total share of the IoT market in total IT market, which is going to grow from 19% to 35% in the next 4 years. So, as today we can say that 19% of the total spending on IT market is IoT investment. In the next 4 years, it's going to be 35. Of course, when we have market growing, booming in double digits, we will find always kind of the problems, kind of the inhibitors, barriers that somehow organizations are reluctant in the terms of making new investments. IDC asked in October this month more than 1,000 decision makers in Europe, what do you think will hinder the deployment of Internet of Things solution at your organization in the next 2 years. And no wonder security concerns are reason number one. Mostly organizations refrain from making significant investments for the security reasons. Privacy and data protection. More and more data is gathered and should be securely stored. 2018, 2 years from now, the General Data Protection Regulation in the European Union countries will come into force, and this regulation have kind of the burden on the IT investment in IoT market. Lack of standardization. The IoT components, they have to work together. They have just to use the same data format, transmission protocol, operating systems. And this industry is in the infant stage, in the national stage, which means that it's still at the very beginning of our journey, and the industry is still fragmented. I would like just to touch on some security trends and challenges this year that we can see in Internet of Things market. Let's start with the rapid IoT development, which we called, it is kind of the horse behind cart strategy. Time to market becomes very important, and we have more and more devices connected to the network that security issues sometimes are left behind. Security focus shifts from hardware infrastructure itself more towards the applications and data protection. So it's more focused on protecting the data, more focused on protecting the applications than hardware itself. We have new devices. We estimate, IDC estimates that by 2020, we have 35 billion devices connected. There are different estimates. However, every day we have more and more endpoint devices that pose a significant threat for security of the network. These endpoint devices that are being added on an everyday basis to the network, they have a limited CPU power, limited storage capacity, limited broadband, which means that limited possibility to install antivirus software, and they cause a threat to the system. So when we are talking about weak points, vulnerability management of the total IoT system, we are not talking about what is potential, what is hypothetical. We are talking about evidences we have that already something went wrong. We have examples what happened already in the IoT world, and we have to be very cautious to make sure that our systems are protected. Let me give you some examples. Probably you heard about former Vice President of the United States, Dick Cheney, that his pacemaker should be disconnected because there was a real threat of the attack by hackers. Nuclear facilities. Siemens reported in 2010 that facilities in Iran were hacked. ATM machines. For 20 years, we have problems with the hackers attacking ATM machines. Cars, probably you heard about examples, you heard about the cases that Toyota Prius car was hacked on a highway in Los Angeles. That hacker took control over steering and braking system of the car. So you see how dangerous it might be if the security is compromised and we can lose our control over a specific device. Train system in my country was a case 2 years ago. The teenager, 17 years old teenager, hacked the tram system in the city of Łódź, Poland, and derailed the tramway. Retail system, utility control system, satellite networks. There are other examples that we really live in the world. I don't want to say in dangerous world, but we have just to be aware that some risks remain. Why securing IoT is such a big challenge? Many reasons. Let me give you just one example. IoT is an attractive target. Many devices, I would say, cheap devices like sensors, they are very weak, vulnerable points for a hacker as an entry point to the network. From the organization point of view, we have just to keep in mind that we are not in a position to be 100% sure, and we have just to make sure that we have a priority list and understand which system is critical for our company, for our organization, that we cannot afford to forget about the security principles. Top priority: nuclear plants, water supply, power generation, transport system, medical devices, vehicles, airplanes, etc. It's top priority to make sure that we have solutions that can protect us from any kind of the problems we might have if security is compromised. IDC defines the security market in 4 different categories, and any numbers I will give you during this short presentation will be for the identity access management market, network security and vulnerability management, and other security products. And you can see the CE market. It says worldwide. I'm sorry, this is CE. Everything in this presentation is about Central and Eastern Europe. We estimate that more than half of the market, as far as the security is concerned, is about network and endpoint security. You can see the worldwide market is IoT security is expected to grow 16.5% compound annual growth rate every year for the next 4 years, and CE, our region, is expected to grow 20% and outperform the worldwide average growth rate. From almost $20 million this year, that is about hardware and software only, excluding services, security services. So we can estimate $200 million total value of the market. 20 millions. It's going to grow up to 344 millions in the next 3 years. So the fast growth. Top drivers have more and more devices. It's, as I said, 25 billions, 30 billions different estimates. However, the proliferation of devices is advancing. Data protection, another top driver. We have just to protect our data. GDPR regulation, as I said before, data collection challenges, APIs, efficiency and productivity improvements, partnership, government initiatives. Government is very active as far as the promotion or deployment of the security systems is concerned. Some smart cities initiatives, smart cities projects, healthcare projects, or vehicles are under government control. If we want just to, do not have numbers for the security as far as the some kind of the industry view by sector, by industry is concerned. However, we can observe, we can say there are 6 industries that are really leading the IoT security spending. It includes manufacturing, it includes transportation, it includes utilities and energy, government and public safety, retail, and consumer products. All these industries are leading as far as the IoT security solutions implementation is concerned. The best partnership wins the game. This is the kind of the nature of the IoT market, that you can do everything by yourself. Even if you are a big corporation, big company, you have just to find a partner, and you have partner, partner, and partner. Only the best ecosystems are gonna win this game. You can do it everything by yourself. New collaborations are emerging, which means that you can find, years ago, you would say very exotic coalitions, like IT vendors with car manufacturers, IT vendors with the airplane manufacturers. We see different coalitions working together to set new standards, to find new protocols, architectures, just to make sure that the IoT business is secure and is growing. One of the trends we see on the IoT market, we see mergers and acquisitions on the rise. Every year we see more merger acquisitions in total of the US dollars value. There are the last year $14 billion and 39 related deals. This year I have statistics for the first 4 months of this year, and we are almost at the same level. You have a Microsoft, you have Sony, you have Cisco, Nokia, Intel, and others buying or merging with other companies just to increase IoT offering portfolio. You see telecom operators working very closely with the startups just to make sure that then they have, if they are under pressure as far as the profit is concerned, because the voice data services are flat, that they need another sources of the revenue, and IoT and the startups in the fields of the IoT are a good example and potential targets for the telecom operators. Let me summarize this presentation with some hints for the vendors and what is important from the buyer's perspective. We, as an IDC, we project that at least at this stage, the best opportunities will be for consultant firms and for a system integration. If the market is in the nascent stage, consulting is really important piece of information that potential buyers need. As I said before, you cannot do IoT by yourself. Work with our partners, work with the startup companies. You are not in position to cover wall-to-wall these IoT opportunities. Industry expertise. Try to focus on a particular industry, particular vertical. If you want just to start your business horizontally across different verticals, you might get in trouble. Different protocols, different supply chains, and this is why industrial focus is critical. Collaborate on standards, compete on performance. Again, you have just to partner, however, compete on performance. And you can summarize become the trusted advisor and create a security blueprint. From the buyer's perspective, if you are a buyer, if you're an organization that wants just to start your journey with the Internet of Things market, start small. As technology is developing so quickly, then whatever you deploy today, tomorrow might be at that obsolete technology. Start small. Apply, do not invent, which means that you have technology providers to take care of the technological side of your business. Just by doing everything by yourself, inventing by yourself, you might lose money, you might lose your time. And as I said, keep in mind that do not have a horse behind the cart. Whatever you're doing in this market, do not forget about the security. Security is important, and time to market at the end of the day, it's not so important if you have a problem, as I said before, that you really might have problems with the compromising your security. This concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer, and I'll be here for the rest of the day.
If anyone in the audience has a question. If not, well, I will take the short time remaining. I see the problem with IoT, and tell me if I'm wrong, is that here we are dealing with embedded devices, things that you could say are sort of fire and forget, meaning that once you set the system up, there's very little you can do to make major changes. Now, if that laptop were to show the horrifying letters PWNED and some laughing face shows up, then we call the system administrator, we run an antivirus on it, and it's cleared up. If something has been done to the heating system and heating and cooling system of this building, and it decides to chill this place down to the level of Siberia or to heat it up to the level of the Borneo jungle, then we may have to tear apart some very expensive equipment in order to correct whatever it is that's gone wrong. So maybe you could elaborate. Am I right? Is that?
Yeah, it's correct. You can always say that because we use mostly for the reason that the manufacturers want just to go cheap, and all this kind of the devices we might install or we might have developed they have limited CPU processing power. They are not equipped with the antivirus software. They're always the weak point in the system. If you are a 17 years teenager in city of Lodz, and you can somehow get into the network and derail the tram, this is the kind of the possibility that we have just to be aware of and understand that we live in the world that security becomes more and more important.
How do IoT, I mean, in general, how do they work as compared to, I mean, I can get an update for a security system on my laptop, which is a Mac OS laptop, and there are dozens and dozens of solutions for Windows systems. How do they work? I mean, is it as simple as installing one of the security systems, or is it more difficult to upgrade and to clean out
Actually,
any
a
problems?
lot of devices in the IoT world are not earmarked for the upgrades. That's the point. We have just to be aware of that. We are talking about the billions of devices. You can't secure each single device. So they have embedded security systems, and we can use our security solution, security infrastructure that we have. However, again, everything is about the risk management. We have to understand how we can manage, how we can assess the risk involved, and we understand that this area is more critical for our organization. It's more critical, I'm talking about the enterprises now. It's critical for running our business. It should be given top priority on our list, and we should solve this problem before any disaster happens.
Okay, but you're saying you have to come either here, or I'll give you the mic.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Lisa Ezepeta. I'm working for Globotex, a Bitcoin exchange. I was going to ask and comment on one thing you mentioned, the tram system being derailed. Wouldn't that be largely due to legacy systems that these big companies use? Thank you.
It might be part of the legacy systems. It is. We have just to keep in mind that we are talking about the Internet of Things market. It was not born yesterday. It was. If we're talking about, for example, RFID, it was. For the first time was implemented 20 years ago. So yes, we, over the time, we have been developing IoT market, and it's still growing, and all kind of the systems that we somehow, from the past, there are vulnerable points, and we should take into consideration that we should also not only protect what is going to be implement in the future, but everything what we have in our legacy systems also is a weak point, and we should take care of it.
Well, okay, but basically you're saying there is nothing equivalent to Kaspersky software that can be distributed to thousands of Priuses to keep them from turning into zombies next week.
This is what I wanted to say. I just don't want just to be somehow that I'm talking about how dangerous this word. However, we need just to keep in mind there is no wall-to-wall security solution for Internet of Things market.
Okay.
This is why I'm just
any more questions? Otherwise, we were a little delayed because of this problem of, I guess, some of you experienced getting up here. It's pretty difficult to get the elevator to come up here without somebody who has the special thing for it. So, any more questions from anybody? I see journalists in the audience. What's the matter with you? You should be asking questions. Okay, so I think then we will move on. Thank you very much, Victor. And as I said, Victor will be here and during the breaks to anybody else wants to talk to him one-to-one.